This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update. We already have some comments that I'm 2 seconds into this. Underdog says, is that Colt Cabana kissing Joey Ryan's penis? Yes, it is. And yes, AEW hired him after that. There is lots of news on Joey Ryan, but first, I just wanted to point out that Raw did a 0.53 rating last night. It was Charlotte Flair's last appearance for WWE for a while, according to reports. She's having some elective surgery done. Some are saying she could be back by SummerSlam. Other reports are saying it could be longer. Only time will tell. The show Raw last night featured a lot of very short matches, a lot of comedy stuff, and a lot of talking, according to all the reports I read. And the reason I put that picture of Joey Ryan up, he was a disgrace to pro wrestling before all of this, but now finally everyone's coming out and admitting that he's actually a pervert of a person in real life. Rape accusations, sexual assault, sexual harassment allegations. There's at least 17 accusers right now saying stuff about Joey Ryan. And according to Dave Meltzer, there's even some bigger names that he's heard have had some problems with Joey Ryan in a sexual harassment or sexual abuse way, but they haven't spoke out publicly about it yet. So there could be even more. He has been officially fired by Impact along with Dave Christ, who also had some sexual allegations against him. Michael Elgin has been suspended upon further review of the situation that he put himself involved with. Michael Elgin, as I've said for a long time, is one of the most overrated wrestlers of this era. Being the Elite put out a statement regarding Joey Ryan. Of course, we all know he's buddies with the AEW executive Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega. Joey Ryan's appeared in a lot of Being a Elite episodes. They put out an official statement saying, out of respect to Joey Ryan's victims, we have began the process of taking down all BTE videos which feature the accused serial sexual abuser. Our biggest regret is providing a platform unknowingly to such a despicable person. So you guys are saying you've been friends with him all these years, and this is a complete shock to you. I somehow doubt that. The only thing that's probably changed is people are calling him out on it. So your tune has changed, in my opinion. As far as Marty Scrull or whatever the fuck his name is, he sounds like he's a real piece of shit. I guess he hasn't denied the allegations that he took advantage of an inebriated 16-year-old. But I guess in the UK, 16 is not considered underage. So I guess, from my understanding, even though he supposedly had sex with a drunk 16-year-old in the UK, you can be an adult and have sex with a 16-year-old, according to reports. So that's his excuse. John Facita tipped me $5 and says, anyone shocked about Joey Ryan is an idiot. I agree with you 100%, John Facita. British wrestler Pollyanna came out about a sexual assault story about a friend of Will Osprey's called Scott Warrenwright from the UK. Apparently, this female wrestler says after Warrenwright sexually assaulted her, Will Osprey, who has a lot of pull in the UK, had her banned by numerous UK promotions. And the International Wrestling League in the UK has confirmed that Will Ospray got her banned from their federation by going above them to the actual venue of a show they were doing, getting Pollyanna off the show because she had made accusations about his buddy. Also, speaking of the UK, Great North Wrestling and PCW Ultra star The Blood Hunter will be making his UK debut next year. So look forward to following how that progresses. WWE Backstage was canceled due to budget cuts at Fox Sports. The show cost too much to produce and the ratings were not good. For all you people out there that keep saying ratings don't matter, obviously Backstage was canceled due to bad ratings. WWE gets a large percentage of their revenue based on the TV deals they have, which could go up in smoke if ratings continue to go down. Backstage is a perfect example of this. As far as Jim Cornette, he's had some accusations against him. I don't think he denies that he's a swinger with him and his wife, but according to Dave Meltzer, it doesn't appear that whatever this accuser has been saying about Jim Cornette basically would push people that would sleep with his wife and put pressure on them to sleep with his wife. Apparently, the accusations this guy is making, which Jim Cornette has denied, don't really add up because this guy was in Ohio Valley Wrestling around 2017, and Jim Cornette had been gone from Ohio Valley Wrestling since pretty much that Santino incident, which I believe happened like in around 2005-ish. He did make appearances here and there and do work for OVW here and there, but for these allegations to happen in 2017 doesn't really add up. And all the people that have wrestled for Ohio Valley Wrestling over the years, this just coming out now doesn't really add up. But I don't think Jim Cornette denies that he's into some unusual sexual stuff. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's all kinds of people, and I don't hold it against anybody as long as they don't shove it in my face. And it's not rape, and it's not doing anything illegal. I don't care what people do sexually. Sammy Guvera, who was suspended by AEW for saying he wanted to rape Sasha Banks, has put out a video apologizing to Sasha Banks, apologizing to anyone he hurt or let down for his offensive comments. And he says he's getting off social media for a while, and when he comes back, we're going to see a better version of himself. Isn't that just heartwarming from Chris Jericho's tag team partner in their little AEW heel comedy troupe? Bill just tipped me $2. Thanks a lot, Bill. Keith Lee of WWE NXT, the big chubby guy that wrestles for NXT, has shared a story regarding the hashtag speaking out, where he alleges he was drugged by a woman that he was met at a bar. That's the difference between the male wrestlers today and the male wrestlers of the old days. The old days would probably actually drug themselves or be happy to be drugged by a female at a bar. But Keith Lee is speaking out against him. So God bless you, Keith Lee. In MMA news, Combate Americas is going to return in August after their operations stopped back in March due to the coronavirus pandemic. That's the main news of the day. Thanks again for the tips to John and Bill. I'll answer a few questions. People think the Joey Ryan is really gross overall. C4P says Ryan will probably never do that horrible dick spot ever again after all this. Let's hope that out of all this, we never see that stupid spot in wrestling ever again. Tony Smith tipped me $5 and says, I would pay on pay-per-view to see me beat the crap out of Joey Ryan. Well, if any MMA company wants to sanction that match, I would happily do it. If an MMA company wants to book that match, me versus Joey Ryan, I'll tell you guys right now on the record, I would happily do it. And he might actually get some respect back if he were man enough to agree to that. But who knows? Like, he may end up in jail if people start actually pressing charges. 17 known allegations. So you'd have to think that some of these people might actually go ahead and formally charge him. Darius Curry tipped me $5 and says, Joey Ryan, how anyone hasn't fractured his eye socket, I don't know. The man is a disgrace to men, let it alone wrestling. Well, he was celebrated by a lot of people up until a few weeks ago. As I said, he was featured quite a lot on this Being the Elite show. He was really in with the AEW guys. They did feature him on All In. But yeah, let's take a look. Impact Wrestling, for instance. There's so many good wrestlers out there, but they hired Joey Ryan. That shows you how bad their bookers are. And then they put Ken Shamrock to take the dick flip from Joey Ryan, which just kills any credibility Ken Shamrock ever had. Metalamark87 tipped me $5, and he says, why are so many soft people allowed into the wrestling business these days, especially since none of them seem to take the business seriously at all? Well, the simple answer to that is it's very easy to get in the wrestling business these days, and that's kind of ruined it. It's not protected anymore. Anyone can get into it. They don't even have to really know how to actually wrestle. Let's think about it this way, for instance. I'm a former national champion in amateur wrestling. I'm a Canadian Open winner in grappling. I'm a legitimate wrestler, and I'm a pretty good pro wrestler, but not one of the TV companies have offered me a job. By the way, I also have 120 million YouTube views, but Joey Ryan, he's right on the top of the list of companies to hire. That just goes to show you what wrestling is. It's not wrestling. It's entertainment. They don't want real wrestlers. Why isn't Harry Smith in a major company? Why isn't he? He's one of the best. He is the best technical wrestler, in my opinion, in the wrestling world today. But when was the last time, like, I guess he's on MLW, but they run like once a month. Why isn't AEW or WWE fought to get a guy like Harry Smith? It boggles my mind. Or, for instance, Michael Elgin gets the big push on Impact. They were pushing before all this for Elgin to fight Shamrock or whatever. But, like, Harry Smith versus Ken Shamrock would have been a much better match. The wrestling world is screwed up these days. The Avenue said, who would have thought Joey Ryan sexually assaulted people? Didn't see that one coming. He's obviously being sarcastic. Meekin-headed freak says Joey Weinstein. City of Roses 79 says Ryan's a effing goof. Sean White says rapists should all be castrated once convicted. I agree. I fully agree with you. Someone says Cornette took the allegations head on. Joey Ryan deleted his Twitter account and ran. I agree. He is a loser and a joke. Garg Hollis says Joey Ryan was always a joke. He's a porn dude and womanizer. Cornette's allegedly a fucking cuckold too, apparently. Why are all these people so damn perverted? Well, if Cornette wants to do that, if Cornette gets off on that, whatever. There's a lot of freaks out there. You never know what people like, so I don't judge. Some people could seem completely normal, but get off on weird stuff. As I said, as long as it's not illegal or underage stuff like this Marty Scrull guy, whatever. Chris Lee says, good riddance. Joey Ryan. Jay Ward says, yeah, save face, but talk to Joey Ryan on the phone behind the scenes as buddies when they speak about being the elite. As I said, I don't believe for 1 second that knowing Joey Ryan all these years and all these accusations that it's a surprise to his AEW buddies. Double S says, when's my interview with Warlord? On Thursday. My interview with Jimmy Corderas, by the way, is now posted in full at patreon.com/thehannibal.tv. Couple more questions. There's a lot of them. Sam Lentz says, this is weird timing too. A wave of accusations, one after another. So many. It seems like it's a coordinated attack. Carolina's Own says, I like the way you think, Devon. Thank you, buddy. Double S says, UK, a bunch of pedos. I don't know. I don't know about that. I never saw it when I was there, and I was only there for 6 weeks wrestling for All-Star Wrestling in the UK, but apparently Brian Dixion, who runs All-Star Wrestling in the UK, has allegations against him now too. I only saw that he was an asshole, but apparently he also has speaking out allegations against him now that are pretty serious. It's not Brian Dixion that the Blood Hunter is wrestling for, by the way, from what I understand. It's a company based out of Gloucestershire, England. Johnny Lawrence says, this is getting crazy. Whatever happened to Innocent until proven guilty? Well, Marty Squirrel, or whatever his name is, isn't denying anything, really, other than he's saying that in the UK, that's a consensual age. As far as Joey Ryan, I don't know, 17 accusers is a lot. Some of the other ones, basically you could sue the people for saying that. If they're making up false stuff about you, you could sue them. And who knows, some of them will. Some of them might actually sue the people for making up false allegations. Mojo Jojo says, Raw getting a 0.53. Is that the 18 to 49 demo? Yes, it is. Double S says CM Punk can't draw a dime. Well, Backstage getting canceled is proof to that. Dire Desalude says, what's up, brother? He gives me the devil signal. I better not do this, because last time I did this, I had all these religious freaks write me a million comments, which was actually comical. Bill just tipped me $7 with an exclamation mark. Thank you, my man. Herman Sheepmeyer says WWE is dying. I don't think they'll ever fully die because they have so much money and so many assets, but I do believe they'll continue to go down in popularity. They did I've already done a review of this, but the whole Last Ride episode from this week where they revealed that Undertaker and AJ are friends, and the Boneyard match was actually shot over like 6 or 8 hours with many takes, and they showed AJ goofing around in the casket. They're just shoving that it's fake in our face these days. Hey guys, it's fake. We're just going to keep shoving it in your face, but you're still supposed to care. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. It turns a lot of people off of wrestling. TGY TV, Tim Gilby tipped me $5. Thank you, TGY TV. Says, I need to come out of retirement to help fill empty spaces. Well, as I've mentioned before, I am blackballed. As I just mentioned, I have credentials. Plus, I've wrestled the likes of Kevin Nash, Psycho Sid, Abdullah the Butcher, Terry Funk, Honky Tonk Man, AJ Styles, Jinder Mahal, Tyson Kidd, Harry Smith, Ted Hart, Brutus Beefcake, Kamala, Abyss, James Storm, Al Snow, Gangrel, Heidenreich, Eugene. The list just goes on and on and on of all the legends I've wrestled. But I'm myself blackballed because I don't think I'm enough of a pussy to be considered a wrestler today, because it seems like, especially for the males, you actually have to be a pussy in real life to work for most of the real companies. Mike Hamilton tipped me $10 and said, "What's up with the NXT team, the Imperium? They are from Canada, I think. Horrible. Who books this crap?" I've never heard of them. If it's the only team in NXT I know of, one of the guys uses the last name Martel. He's from Quebec. And what boggled my mind when they signed this guy, because he sucks. He really sucks, in my opinion. We never even used him in Great North Wrestling. That they would hire that piece of shit and then not hire Cedric Rougeau, who carries the Rougeau's name and is 6'6", 280 pounds. But they hired like some 5'7" guy who's now in there using the name Martel. I don't understand WWE's hiring, although I do understand that the Martel guy is buddies with Kevin Owens. And we also know that Kevin Owens does not like Jacques Rougeau, so he's been politicking. But Kevin Owens right now, from what I understand, is refusing to work for WWE. So I don't think he's going to have as much pull as time goes on. They were already having him do jobs to a lot of lesser wrestlers before he's decided to pull himself out again. He took like something like 2 months off after WrestleMania for a sprained ankle. As I said, they want pussies in wrestling today. They don't want real men. I sprained my ankle in a fucking rugby game in high school, and I wrestled, right? And I played the next day in another rugby game. They just taped it up. When I won the silver medal at the Olympic qualification trials for the London Games back in 2012, I had a torn meniscus in my knee, but that required surgery, but I still wrestled. But now it's pussies, and that's what happens. Chris Lee says KO and Sammy cry too much. Sammy's refusing to wrestle too. That's why they put the Intercontinental title on AJ Styles. But then they have AJ Styles lose the first title, or he wins the title. Then they have him do a non-title match against Matt Riddle, and he loses to Matt Riddle, which makes no sense. Whatever. I agree with all you guys. Wrestling is not what it used to be. Richard Mins says rugby is a great sport. It is. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I was number 8 on my team, and I was pretty much the enforcer of my team. We won the in my high school, we had rugby instead of football, and we won the city championships my senior year. So there you go. Have a great night, everyone. I'm going to do some training.